Let's go. Turn up the volume. From the basement of the Empire State. This is the Basement Surge.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Basement Surge, everybody. Welcome back to the weekly Surge. I say that every week, like, it's going to change. Thank you very much for joining us this week. It's a little bit late, but we're here.
We're here.
You just got home from work. And,
Literally just walked in the door and walked right to the basement.
But, another week, another live show. We didn't do it last week.
We did not.
Okay.
Play hooky.
Yeah. We were doing something else. I don't remember what it was. But something came up.
Yeah.
And anyway, here we are. Figured you would think we had like some stored up like news to talk about or something important, but no, it's just
That would imply we're interesting.
no,
We're not.
just another live show. So, can you see the comments?
No, not really. Hi, Mommy.
You can't see them? Why not?
No, because your computer is blocking my way. A little more. All right, good.
Good?
Yep.
All right. Sorry about that. All right. So here we are. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I'm half awake.
Half a week.
Literally because I'm working an 8-hour shift.
Yeah. But
Tired.
yeah, you're usually pretty dead. Like live shows or recordings after you get home from work is
Oh my gosh.
usually a bad idea.
I tried.
But
I tried so hard last week and it just didn't happen. I tried recording live and it was an utter disaster. I couldn't keep my thoughts straight. I couldn't keep
yeah.
anything focused. I was like, that's it. That's a wrap. We're done. Close it down. It's not happening.
Okay, so a couple of things happened this week that I think we should talk about.
Okay.
Okay, like number one, you launching Basement Ladies.
Yes.
Okay.
Relaunching.
Relaunching,
Figuring out.
Yeah. Either way, there's an episode up now. Basement Ladies has its own YouTube channel.
Whoop, whoop.
So go check that out and hit that subscribe button. You will not find Basement Ladies here on the Basement Surge channel anymore if you're watching over on YouTube.
I moved out.
Yeah.
Out of the surge.
Yeah.
Into my own.
She's still in the basement.
Yeah.
but she's out of the surge.
Right.
So we just do this show every week together.
Mm-hmm.
The Basement Ladies, I think, is starting off strong.
I think so.
Why don't you talk a little bit about your episode?
All right. So first of all, we had made it to where I was going to do a live show. That's too low.
Yeah.
Do a live show every Tuesday instead of doing an episode. But my schedule changed with work, and now I work every Tuesday instead of being off every Tuesday. And actually, my schedule has actually just been very wonky. So we decided that I was going to actually start recording an episode instead of just going live.
Yeah.
So I recorded an episode this week, which is the first one that went out. It's on YouTube right now, called the 5 easy steps to achieving the life you want. And then the plan is every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, I'm going to go live. And that's where I will talk about some things that I didn't get to quite cover in the episode, but are still valid and important. And then there's going to be just days where I want to go live and just do a check-in and see how everybody's doing.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you've always wanted to kind of run your own YouTube channel,
Yeah.
And so I'm going to post the link to your channel in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
And there it is. Everybody go over there, hit that subscribe button. And show some support, because Heather's doing a great job. She's putting in a lot of work. Planning these episodes is a pain in the ass.
It's a lot because they're informative. I'm trying to, help people out. So it's not, I really care about it. And it's not something I want to just kind of throw out there. I really, really want to sit down and make sure I'm explaining it correctly and making sure I'm having all the facts and all the visuals in it.
So, not like Brian from Talking Shit said that, it's going to be a lot of like talking about bras and.
Talking Shit's been talking a lot of shit. Okay. I think they need to be knocked down a few notches.
That's funny.
Because, yeah, like, don't get me started. They think that for some reason, being a girl, I can't actually have a actual conversation or an actual show without discussing periods and bras. And yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Quit pressing buttons over there.
I'm sharing the episode, trying to get more people in,
Yeah.
More the merrier.
The more the merrier.
And I'm trying to get Mark and Brian in. So that
so we could talk some real shit. So we could talk some shit on here and see if they can say it in my face.
Yeah. That's right.
Jerks. We love you.
Oh man. I'm actually texting them right now. We're talking shit about talking shit. Okay, so speaking of talking shit, like let's segue it a little bit into the Basement Surge now, because our episode this week on Surge, I sat down with Mark and Brian from Talking Shit,
right?
And we had a great time. It was a great episode that dropped yesterday, so go check it out over on YouTube after the show.
Right.
The guys were awesome. Like they just came out with these new T-shirts with their logo on it. Like they're so super stoked about the merch, which is awesome because it's their first, it's their first piece of merch.
Right.
And it's great. It's great. So I bought a shirt. I got a shirt. I got one. It's on the way. It's coming.
Woo-hoo.
I might wear it here on the Surge. But yeah, we had a blast.
It was a really good show.
Yeah.
It looked okay.
It looked okay.
It was all right. It wasn't the Basement Ladies or anything.
Oh,
right,
here we go. Yep.
See, it's funny because I want to get a T-shirt made as well.
Yeah.
And like, I have no problem wearing your shirts. I have no problem wearing Brendan's shirts, Jeff's shirts, Talking Shit shirt. I'll wear your shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what?
Right.
I need someone to wear my shirt.
Yeah.
Like, they need to wear my shirt.
Mark says Talking Shit is awesome. Yeah. You have to say that, Mark. You're part of Talking
Exactly.
Shit.
Dude.
No, I had a great time with the guys this week. We had a lot of fun doing it, and so go check it out.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Mark and I are going to do an episode together, and the entire information is going to be written wrong. And we're going to just leave
Oh,
it.
you're going to misspell everything?
We're going to just try to spell it normally, and we'll just see how much we can fuck up together.
There you go.
Because apparently neither one of us can spell. And we are surrounded by people who will put out, like,
yeah.
There's a comment.
Okay, and then me and Brian will put out a show, right? And put out an episode, and it'll be the most punctual episode you'll ever see.
And no one will like you. They'll like me and Mark's show better.
But speaking of merch, right? Okay, so yesterday, right?
Was
I'm
a big day.
super excited. Yesterday, I launched the pre-order of these BS Royal Blue hats. You can they're now available for pre-order in the official website in the store. And like half of them are gone because I'm only making 10.
Right.
And 5 of them are gone already. So
Because they're limited edition. They're
Limited
not going to be able
edition.
to be out to everybody.
Yeah, these royal blue BS hats, like the ones that I wear on the show, like limited edition, and I'm only making 10. So
Yeah.
get them while they're hot. Link for the pre-order if you're wanting one, which I highly suggest you go grab it, is down in the show notes below. So go check it out.
5 left. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. I can't believe they sold as good as they did.
Everybody's been wanting one.
They have. I told you, I've been getting emails like,
Yeah.
where can I get the hat? Can I send me a hat? Send me a hat. Like, yeah, okay. We'll make one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now when you're famous, those hats will be worth something. And they were like, oh, I got a hat. Yeah.
Should I sign them before I send them out?
You should. You should sign the underneath.
Under the bill, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll do that.
You should add an extra $2 charge for your signature.
No, I can't do that.
I would.
The hats are already pricey. Well, they're not that pricey, but it's normal, I think, right?
I sell $30 candles for a living. Okay, your hat. I mean, what's expensive?
Yeah.
And yes, Mark, autocorrect is perfect when autocorrect knows what you are talking about. Because I don't know about you, but I have tried spelling things, and autocorrect is even what are you trying to say?
Yeah. I mean, there are times where I'm trying to curse my friends out, and autocorrect is like, duck you. So
I'm just trying
sometimes it doesn't work.
I'm just trying to spell regular words.
Yeah. Terrible.
I was at work and I had to write an actual email to the big, huge corporate boss.
Right.
And so they're like, okay, this is part of your job. You're new. Okay, go ahead. I want you to write the email. Thank the good Lord that my other manager wanted to check it to make sure it sounded okay.
Mhm.
She's like, what? She's like, what is this? She just sat there correcting she basically rewrote it because it was just, I'm like, oh, by the way, I can't spell and don't know grammar.
Yeah.
She's like, but you're a writer. I'm like, Grammarly is my friend.
This is not the place to promote your books. No.
Right. Well, see, back then I didn't know about AIs,
Yeah.
and we can't use AI at work because you can't go out of on internet. It has to be just right there.
Okay.
Unless I cheat and use my phone. I can always use my phone and be like that. They were like, wow, Heather's such a genius. She's so smart. She's got such great words.
She's got such great words.
Shut up.
Is that what you just said?
She's got such great words.
Oh boy. Yeah, Mark says use AI. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, so it's a big week for us. You launched Basement Ladies, the YouTube channel, and
Thank you to the 4 people who have watched it. Better than 0.
Well, it'll grow, you gotta give it time.
Yeah.
You think the millions of people that watch Surge were always there? No, we had to build them up. Your audience will find you.
Hopefully. Better find me fast.
Oh man. So what's up?
So I was about to make a dad joke and say this guy, but I gotta tell you, I had
Jim.
Oh,
Jim, how you doing? I might switch from Basement Dads to Basement Ladies. Well, that's a good idea because I got some bad news for everybody. Me and Brendan have called it quits. Brendan and I got a divorce. We're not doing Basement Dads anymore. Sorry, Jim. You're our only listener. Seriously, Jim was the only one listening.
I wasn't even listening.
Yeah, she wasn't even listening. So, but no, some personal things came up for me where I couldn't devote enough time to it. So we called it quits. We pulled the plug on it before, we got too far into it. So, but Brendan did say that I could go on Dads Worldwide. And
Which is basically what Dad was about. It's the same thing.
yeah. Speaking of Brendan, I'm sitting down with him this Friday. We're recording next week's episode of Basement Surge. So Brendan is making his return to Surge next week. So stay tuned. Jim, I'm sorry to let you down about Basement Dads.
Yeah.
You'll just have to go back to listening to Dads Worldwide.
Don't worry. Basement ladies will always be here for you, Jim. I got you.
All right. So what were you saying?
Oh, yes. So I don't know. I was in need of coffee. I was in need of just getting out of work, and I was just in that loopy stage.
Yeah.
And this group of kids came in. They were like teenagers, and they never buy anything. So I was like already like, all right, I'm not wasting my time on them. And I go in there and I'm like, what are you looking for? Welcome back. What are you working? What are you looking for? And they're like, I don't know. What did he say? He said, I don't know. I'm just looking. And I said, we're all out of that. We just sold out. And they're all staring.
Wow.
I swear it was so funny because one girl freaked out and goes, oh my gosh, what? You're out of what? We don't have any more what? And I'm like, and then one girl looks at me and goes, ha, I just got that. And then everyone else is like, what? I don't get it.
This generation's dumb.
And I was like, he said, I don't know. And I was like, I don't want to have that anymore. They were like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. They literally were like completely like, it wasn't even like a fake laugh. They were like generally like, thought it was so much. I'm like, wow.
That's terrible.
It was terrible. But I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's getting late and I just need coffee. And it just kind of. I'm gonna call them the mom jokes because I'm not a dad.
Mom jokes.
So they're gonna be
Right.
mom jokes. They're a little worse than dad jokes. They're a little more of a little mimi haha. Kind of.
They're not as corny, right?
They're not as corny.
Yeah.
No, I think they're more corny. I don't know, but I try, and I can't help it. When you've lived with my dad, where everything out of his mouth is a dad joke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go jump in the shower. Don't be careful. No. Why don't you just step in the shower?
Or thank you. Thanks.
Thanks. Oh yes, I'm gonna go take a shower. Thanks. Thanks for what? Oh my goodness.
See, I know.
I had such a hard childhood.
Where did you think I learned it from? I learned it from your dad.
Yeah. Impossible.
Every time the kids want to shower, I'm going to shower. Thanks.
Yep. He does say that. Like, Dad.
Yeah. Stop being dumb. Yeah. So why don't you tell everybody about our little visitor this morning? Okay, so
Basement Surge almost died, and I saved his life. And without me, there would be no Basement Surge right now. You're welcome.
Okay, let me preface this by saying
I should have videoed this. I mean, it would have been epic.
We really should have videoed it because it skeeved me the hell out, and I couldn't deal with it. But let me preface this by saying, okay, so for like the past, I want to say month or two, right?
I'd say definitely 2 months.
2 months, maybe 3.
Yeah, it's been pretty long.
It's been a while. Sometimes some mornings I come down to the studio and I see like little trails in the carpet.
Like slime trails.
Slime trails. So I remember one day I called you down here and I'm like, what the hell is this?
What is this? And I'm like, oh, you have a snail in here or a slug.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm telling you, you got something in here.
Yeah. So I basically turned the studio upside down. Like I searched the studio.
Yep.
Okay. I looked under furniture, like I moved stuff around. Like I was looking for this thing. I was on a mission and I couldn't find it.
Nothing.
And it's been like a good 2-3 months. And every not every day, but I mean, like quite often, I'll come downstairs and there'll be new trails around the studio. So this morning I come down here and it's dark, and normally when I walk in the studio there's no lights on. Like I don't put the overhead lights on. We have studio lights.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta literally walk into the studio behind my desk, like fully into the room. I'm turning on my computer, my monitor, the Rodecaster. I'm turning all the equipment on, and the last thing I turn on is my light, the studio light over there, right behind you. And I'm like looking around, and I'm like, there's a trail, and this thing was right in the middle of the freaking room. Like I must have stepped right over it. Like it's so lucky that I didn't step
Could you
on
imagine
it.
if you were barefoot and you stepped it?
I never come down to studio barefoot.
I'm just saying, could you imagine if you stepped in a
Never.
slug?
Never.
I've done it.
I never come down here barefoot. It's the basement. Like I grew up knowing that you don't go down the basement without shoes. Because because when I was a kid, my grandfather used to be down here, like, you know, sawing wood.
Right.
There'd be nails on the floor, you know, so you came down here with shoes. And I was kind of trained from a kid to think that way, you know? So every time I come down here, I put my shoes on and I come down. But I'm so like, if I would have stepped on this thing was huge. Like, it was like this big.
When it was fully extended, it was pretty big.
Yeah.
So I get a text. I'm upstairs getting ready for work. And it goes, come downstairs.
Come downstairs.
And I'm like, okay, maybe some with the podcast, maybe some with the episode from my YouTube.
I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to go upstairs to get you because I didn't want to lose eyesight on this thing. I didn't want to lose it.
Guys. Let me paint you a picture. I come down all like, okay, I'm going to come down, see what's going on and that. This man is standing in the corner. Like if he could get any more into the corner, he would have gone through the damn wall.
I wasn't.
Okay?
No.
He's like, babe,
I wasn't.
babe. And I'm like, what? And my words were, where's the spider? Because normally it's honey can kill the spider.
No, the spiders, I'm okay. It's
okay.
It's no.
And I look down and there's this, I'm like, hey, it's your friend, the slug.
He's no friend of mine.
He's like, get it out. Just get.
just thinking about it now sends shivers down my spine. Like, and for the record, I wasn't standing in the corner. I was just standing a little back. Okay.
Just happened to be in the direction of the corner.
Standing a little back, you know.
In the corner.
Yeah.
And so I'm scooping it up. I get 2 pieces of paper and I scoop it up gently. I'm like, open the door. This man has to like go. I mean, and he's walking past me, okay? And then I bring it in.
It skeeved me out.
He squeaked.
I didn't squeak.
You squeaked.
No,
You're
no.
like, you did too.
Like
There was
I
squeak in
did
there.
something like that.
There was something like that, but there's a squeak in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Should have got some video.
No
There was
squeaking.
proof.
There was no squeaking.
There should have been proof.
No.
I get it outside and like that. And I'm just like, I bring it to the garden and I let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you do without me? You know how many times I'm not here when he calls the kids?
Well,
Annabelle, our oldest Annabelle used to be the bug killer. Every time there was a bug,
you know what it is? You know what it is? It's I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do it. Like,
because you're a chicken.
no, it's not. No, because if I was here by myself, if I was alone, I would have dealt with it. I would have got like a piece of cardboard or something, scooped it up, and brought it
I would have
outside.
came home 8 hours later, we've been still in that corner, hyperventilating about a freaking snail, having to pee so bad.
It's like the when I lived in Florida, I had a gecko in the house. And let me tell you, geckos are all over the place,
Mhm.
right? Like they're just running free all over Florida. So, you know, I'm a smoker, so I every time I'd smoke, I'd go out onto the patio. I wouldn't smoke in the house, you know, so I'd go out onto the patio and leave the door open. And one time a gecko got into the apartment. And and I was like, what the hell is that? Like, it freaked me out because number one, I don't like wild animals in my apartment.
So I got 2 stories for you. I got 2 stories for you.
So
let him
what?
finish.
So what I did is that I got one of those big Tupperwares, right? And I crept up to the gecko real slow, like, right? And I trapped it in the Tupperware, and I put something on top of the Tupperware so that it wouldn't go anywhere. And I left it there until the morning when my dad picked me up to go to work.
You're such a chicken. You're awful.
So you know what? I could probably be honest with you and tell you I probably would have trapped the slug
And left it there.
and waited until my father came.
Would've
I
been
would
texting
have
your
called him up.
dad.
Dad, listen. You got to come here tomorrow.
You got to leave work. You got to
Yeah.
come here and save your
Right,
son
right.
from this slug.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, two stories. So, one, we're at my mom's house. We're sleeping over because we visit PA and we sleep over. All right. So, we have a blow up mattress on my mom's living room.
This was funny.
My mom's living room floor.
I
and-
laugh so hard, like in the middle of the night.
Oh
Like,
my God. He's so good. Giggles about this.
Yeah.
I don't giggle so much. So, it's the middle of the night. My mom lives in the country. So, she's got, woods in the backyard, something like that.
Yeah.
And we're laying there and the door opens. The wouldn't latch correctly sometimes. So the wind blew it and the door was open.
Yeah, but we woke up at like
and we were sleeping when this happened.
yeah.
So he wakes me up. He's like, babe.
It's like 3 in the morning,
I'm like,
2 in the
"What? What?"
morning.
He goes, the door's open. And I'm like, what door? The outside door was wide open. And we were sleeping, so we have no idea how long this door has been open. Don't know
Right.
what's going on.
You don't know if an animal came in.
Right. We
Yeah.
live in the woods. Anything could come. A bear, a
Right.
deer,
Yeah.
whatever. Keep that in mind. A bear, a deer, a mountain lion, a rabid raccoon could have walked in.
Right.
And I'm like, go close it. He's like, I'm like, because you close it.
You go close it.
My brave husband made me get up, go into the dark ass kitchen, and close
For-
the door.
In my defense,
There's
okay,
no defense.
There
You're
is
just-
no.
there's no
In my
defense.
defense, okay, what it was is that you were the country girl, right? So if there was an animal or if there was something over there, you could have handled it. I was the city guy. I didn't know what the hell was over there, and God forbid it was a bear. I would have died. You at least would have, recognized and did
To
something.
be like, oh, that's a bear. That's not it. Like, what would you think? Like, come on. What would you have done versus me?
I don't know.
That was still very messed up. I could have been eaten by a bear, and my dad would have been like, my dad would have killed you. Oh my gosh. And he would have been like, well, I was
That's
afraid.
funny.
So that's story number one. So story number two.
What's the other one?
I first come here, right? And in New York, it is well known to have water bugs / cockroaches.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. It doesn't mean you're dirty, but just we had like one or two.
Right.
I had never ever seen one because I'm not from here. So
I remember now.
So I'm going to the bathroom and there's one in the tub.
Yeah, you could hear him running.
And
He's
you can
so
hear him.
big. Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's a cockroach. I'm excited. I don't know why I'm excited, but this is the New York. I'm actually like, this is a cockroach. This is really cool. And so I'm looking, I crouched down.
Yeah, like you're crouched
I
down, like
crouched
over the
down in
tub,
thing, and
like
it's got
looking
water,
over the tub.
and it's like licking itself and like licking its little antler thingies and it's going. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. Bam! He comes up behind me with a shoe and squishes it. I did not talk to him the rest of the night. I was so upset. I'm like, you killed it. It was fine. I could just let it die. He goes, no, we
No.
killed those.
Yep. Yeah. Ask any New Yorker. You see a water bug, a cockroach, you kill it on sight. You
I
don't
would've-
let that thing go.
I would have picked it up with something and brought it outside. And
No, there's no
That's-
bringing it outside. It's not the freaking wilderness out there. It's not the country. It's not Pennsylvania. It's the city.
I was so upset.
There'll
with
just
him.
be another one that comes in.
I was so upset.
Trust me. They'll survive nuclear blasts. They will.
They just won't survive your shoe.
They'll be okay. I love that story. That was, yeah. You should have seen your face. You're like, oh my god!
I was so horrified. I was so upset. I think I almost like started crying. I was like
Yeah.
really legitimately upset.
It's a water bug. Like, get over it.
You're so wrong.
And then the centipedes.
So those I don't deal with.
Right. Yeah. See,
The
we found
first
something
ti-
you
the
won't deal with.
First time I ever saw a centipede.
Mm.
Now these are not like country centipedes. Okay, these things have 9 million legs, and they all got like fur. No, it's just bad. Okay, this
That's
thing.
why they're called centipedes,
Well, we have
because
them,
of the amount of legs they
I
have.
know,
Centi.
but we have
Yeah.
them in PA too, but they don't look like that. Okay, they're not.
They're
like
probably
that.
bigger, no?
I think they're bigger, but they're not like I don't know. They're not as creepy.
Yeah.
And they don't run like that. They walk slow. They're like, boom, 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 boom. They're
Yeah,
like,
owls run.
"Shh."
Yeah, because they know what's up.
And I had never seen one before.
Right.
So I'm in the living room by myself, and all of a sudden this thing scurries around, scared the daylights out of me. I put Tupperware over it. And I'm like,
I'm not the only
"Babe!"
one.
Oh my gosh. I was screaming. I'm like, babe, what is this? And he's like, I'm like, what is it? He looks it up. He goes, oh, it's just a centipede. And I'm like, no, that is not a centipede. I've
Yeah.
seen centipedes. I'm like, that is not what that is. And he's like, no, that's what it is. And I'm like, mm. That
Yeah.
is one thing I will call him to kill. And if I see one, he has to find it.
It's creepy because those are the kind of bugs that you got to be quick to kill them because they're fast.
Yeah.
But like sometimes with the shoe, like sometimes you don't get the whole body and you only get half,
And it still runs away.
and it's still running away. And then the legs on the shoe is like
Yes, you
still-
showed me that. They were
Yeah.
still moving. Oh my gosh. And then there was one night. So I get leg cramps at night all the time. I got to get out of bed and I got to like stretch them out. My sciatica bothers me. So here it is, like 2:30 in the morning. I'm in the living room. I leave the lights off so I don't get too wide awake. And I'm stretching on the floor and I see the cats are chasing something. So I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I'm like, go get him, princess. Go get him, princess. And I'm stretching and I go to stretch all the way back. Guys, something. I'm watching them. They lose the thing and it goes up my arm. I freaked out. I don't know how I didn't wake the whole house because I screamed.
It was probably a centipede.
It was. I
Yeah.
watched them play with it and I'm like, yeah, go get them. Like, you got it, princess. Come.
Right.
Didn't even think about it coming after me to hide. And I'm stretching and it goes right up and I just felt every single little leg and it was
Ugh.
awful.
No.
I was like, I'm stretched out. Okay, going to bed. That's it.
Yeah. Like I could handle a lot of things, but like bugs are just the worst. And slugs.
It's gonna be so fun. I was actually thinking about it today when I was getting rid of the slug and put it in the garden. I'm like, I'm gonna go to heaven and God, and like, I'm not gonna get in. And I'm gonna be like, why am I not getting in? And God's gonna be like, you remember that summer with the slug and the salt? And I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
You
My
did
bad.
you did that?
Oh,
I
my
thought
brother
about
and
doing
I.
that today.
My brother and I were the worst. And I feel so guilty.
Hmm.
I really do. Like, Mom, why'd you let us do that? That's so wrong. We'd sit there with salt. So every time we saw a slug, and we would bring the salt out. Actually, my dad showed me that because he hated them eating his in the garden.
Yeah.
But I'd sit there and be so fascinated watching the melt.
Well, that's why you save them now because you feel bad
I
about what
feel
you
bad.
did.
Then it was really funny because my mom would get so mad because we'd never we always got it too close, and the salt shaker would get covered in their slime, and she'd
Ew.
have to clean it.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Hopefully the slugs are done here in the studio.
Maybe it had babies.
Shut up. It's terrible because like right outside this wall behind me is the garden, right? So it's like up to that window is dirt. So like you don't know what's coming out of there. And that's probably where I came from.
Probably.
I don't know. I hope I never see.
Either that or Cole brought it in and wanted to give you a present.
Probably. But yeah, I don't like bugs that much. Like, which is funny because I don't have a problem killing the cockroaches. I don't have a problem killing spiders or centipedes. Like it's
Maybe
just
because they were just normal in your
yeah.
everyday life.
Like I can't remember seeing a slug here in Brooklyn growing up.
The 7 years I've been here,
Or a
I've never
snail.
I've seen snails in the garden,
No.
but I've never seen a slug.
No, as far as I'm concerned, the only wild animal we had in the garden are worms.
The Chinese neighbors that don't belong in our garden.
Yeah. Well, I've spoken about them before to Brendan. Should ask him about it, but
I had ripe tomato yesterday. I don't know where they went.
yeah. And figs.
And figs.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I hope I don't see any more slugs. I don't want any more slugs. I don't want to make any more friends down here in the studio. You know, and I do have to say that I'm grateful that we don't have mice.
We had one friend, little George. And he was the cutest mouse you've ever seen. He was so itty bitty. But he's been gone.
Remember, I trapped him in the oven.
Yeah.
And I turned it on.
And it did nothing.
And it did nothing because
Did nothing
like
because there's a wall in between the
Yeah.
oven and the it did his hide
son
there.
of a bitch. Literally surrounded the oven with those sticky pads. You know,
I'm like, what are you doing?
I
He's like,
surrounded
I
it.
will get him. And you didn't get him.
I didn't get it. I never got him.
Never got him.
No. But now we don't have mice now, and I think I contribute that to the cats, the stray cats
Yeah.
outside.
Because there's a lot of them outside. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
New York is full of cats. And
Yeah.
they're all the same color.
Yeah.
They're all the same family. They're all black.
Black
No
and
variety.
white. Yeah.
Black and white. There's no variety. There's no orange cats.
No,
white
there is
cats.
one. There's one.
One, but I think they bought it from. It's a house cat though, but they let it out.
Yeah.
Well, it needs to have babies already. I think it's neutered because otherwise we'd have some orange.
I
Cats.
hope so, because
Otherwise we'd have lots of orange cats.
we have way too many cats outside.
Oh my gosh,
So I think that's why we don't have the mice anymore.
that would make sense.
I mean, so I guess that's good.
They probably ate George. Poor George.
George is probably dead in our oven somewhere.
He's not in our oven. We would have smelt him.
Not a little guy like that.
Little shish kebab.
But all right, honey. I'm calling it.
Okay.
I know you're tired. It's been a
Oh
long
my
day.
gosh.
And it's already 11 o'clock. So, everybody, thank you very much for joining us this week. Made a few announcements today.
Yeah.
Basement Ladies.
So go to YouTube and go watch Basement Ladies and then go watch Basement Surge.
Or go watch Surge and then go watch Ladies.
No, Ladies and then Surge.
And the link to Basement Ladies is in the comments. I posted it earlier, so go check it out. Hit that subscribe button. And this week, the Basement Surge has an episode with Talking Shit. We talk shit with Talking Shit.
So much shit.
So don't forget to watch that. And the hats.
Only 5 left.
Only
Get
5
them or lose
left.
them.
Go to the official website. Links are in the show notes down below. Only 5 left. We're only making 10, and that's it. Because after that, you can't get this hat.
Limited edition.
Yeah. After that, I'm going to probably come out with a different design, but never again with this one. This is my hat.
I need a hat.
No, hats are my thing.
I want a hat.
You find your thing for Basement Ladies. Don't worry about hats.
I'm gonna make a hat.
No. Where's my mouse? I lost the mouse. There we go.
Maybe it's in your oven.
Hey! All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Let's go. Turn up the volume. From the basement of the Empire State. This is the Basement Surge.
3, 2, 1.